Welcome to our exciting tutorial on creating a 3D Endless Runner game using Java. In this video, we will walk through the entire process of building the game from scratch, step by step. Before we dive into coding, let's discuss what an Endless Runner game is. In such games, players control a character that runs forward continuously, navigating through obstacles and collecting items. We'll be using Java and a game engine, such as libgdx, to create our game. First, let's set up our development environment. Ensure you have Java JDK version 8 or higher installed. You can download it from the official Oracle website. Next, let's set up libgdx. Head over to the libgdx setup tool at https://libgdx.badlogicgames.com. You need to fill in the details like your game name, package name, project type, and other configurations. Once you generate the project, extract it to your preferred workspace. Open the project in your favorite IDE, like IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse. Now, let's set up our main game class. In the generated project structure, navigate to the core module and create a new Java class called Endless Runner Game. This will be our main game entry point. In the create method, we will initialize our game world, set up the camera, and load any assets we need. Let's start by setting up the camera. Next, we need to create our game world. Let's define a simple ground plane where our character will run. We can achieve this by using the model class from libgdx. Now, we need to render the ground in our game. To do this, we will set up a model batch and add our ground instance to it. Let's add a character to our Endless Runner. We will create a simple model for our character. First, you'll need a 3D model file, e.g. .g3db or .obj. You can find free models online or create your own using software like Blender. For our character to run endlessly, we need to handle movement and jumping mechanics. Let's first define constants for movement and jumping. Next, we will implement movement controls using the input processor. We can listen for key presses and update the character's position accordingly. Now, we also need to handle the jump mechanics. We will create a simple gravity simulation to bring the character back down after jumping. Now that we have our character moving and jumping, let's mix things up by adding obstacles. These will randomly appear in our game world as the player runs forward. It's time to implement the game loop, where we will continually spawn obstacles and check for collisions with the player character. We'll also update the obstacles' positions to simulate movement. Next, let's implement collision detection. We'll use bounding boxes to determine if our character intersects with any of the obstacles. Now let's add some feedback for the player upon collision, such as displaying a game over screen. For that, we will create a simple UI overlay. For added fun, let's introduce score tracking. We'll increment the score as the player survives longer in the game. As we wrap up the gameplay mechanics, let's add sound effects for collisions and jumping. You can load sound files into your assets folder and use libgdx's audio API to play sounds. Finally, let's clean up and polish our game. Add some styling to the user interface, improve graphics, and even introduce level design for more variability in obstacles. We have now built a basic 3D Endless Runner game that you can extend further by adding features such as power-ups, character skins, or dynamic environments. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and share your creations with the community. Happy coding!